students of class 11. Today in business studies we are going to discuss topic number 1C, 1D, 1E and topic number 2A. That means in total I am going to explain 4 topics, 1A, 1CDE and 2A. Now topic number 1C is regarding benefits of e-commerce. That means what are the benefits, what are the advantages which the e-commerce provides to the people. So for that topic the benefits of e-commerce are as follows. There are total 5 benefits of e-commerce, one by one. Number 1, ease of formation or ease of implementation. That means e-business can be formed, e-business can be implemented very easily. That means there is very easy procedure and there is requirement of low investment. That means the business concern which want to introduce e-business system in its business, in its transaction, there is a easy procedure and there is low investment. So it is very easy to form or easy to implement. Number 2, convenience of deal. Dealing is very convenient. That means contact can be made at any time from any place. That means anybody from any corner of the world can purchase goods from any seller from any corner of the world at any time. That means this is a 24-hour business transaction system and buyer and seller can be at any place of the world. So convenience of dealing. Then third point is speedy work. The work is very speedier. That means faster processing of transaction and delivery of product. The transaction is processed very fast, but in delivery of product some time may take, but it is also faster than manual delivery when we go to the shop to purchase the goods. So it is speedy work. Number 4, global access. That means global reach. It is a boundaryless reach from any part to the other part of the world. That means buyers of any part of the world can contact to the seller of any other part of the world. So it is not limited to the boundary of a locality or of a state or of a country. 5, last point is paperless economy or paperless society. That means less paperwork is there, and for that there is savings of natural resources. When the less paperwork is there, then natural resources can be saved. So these are the 5 points regarding the benefits of e-business. Now topic number D, 1D is limitations of e-business. It means limitations means disadvantages or difficulties or demerits. So following are the main limitations of e-business. E-business suffers from these 6 limitations. Number 1, lack of personal involvement. That means people, the buyer and seller are not personally involved in the transaction of e-business. So there is no physical inspection of goods or product. Buyer is unable to do any physical inspection of goods or product which he is going to purchase. So this is first difficulty. Second, congruence. That means mismatch between placing of order and physical delivery. When you make manual shopping, you go to shop, make payment and take the delivery of the goods. But here there is mismatch. That means order is given on some time and physical delivery of goods takes place on some other time. So this is congruence. Knowledge of digital technology. Parties may not be familiar with technology. This is only possible by those persons, those buyers and those sellers who have knowledge of computer technology or internet technology. So without having the knowledge of computer technology or internet technology, it is very difficult to conduct e-business transaction. So knowledge of digital technology is also act as a limitation. Anonymity and non-traceability. It means identity and location of parties is not known to each other. It means that buyer does not know the identity of seller and location of seller, and similarly seller also does not know the identity and location of buyer. It means both the parties are not known to each other. Then insecurity and stress. People resist to new methods of dealing. Whenever there is any new method, new invention of doing something new, then initially people resist. So those person who are unaware of this technology or this method, they may resist to the new methods of dealing. Last point is ethical fallouts. That means there is an electronic eye and lack of ethics. That means there is always an electronic eye which keeps watching everybody's details, and there is lack of ethics. That means ethical norms are not followed. There are chances of fraud, cheating, etc. So this is regarding limitation of e-business, 6 points. Number E, 1E is application of e-business. That means what are the areas where e-business can be applied, e-business can be implemented, e-business can be used. So there are total 5 areas where e-business can be applied or introduced. First one is e-bidding or e-auction. That is called e-tendering, whereby quotations can be submitted online. Whenever there is a question of submission of tender for any government work or any private contract work, then e-tendering can be done with the help of e-business. In this method, e-tendering, that means tenders can be submitted electronically from the contractor to the contractee. So there is submission of quotation online. That is called e-bidding or e-auction. Goods can be sold on auction. Bidding can be made in auction trade. So this is first point. Second, e-trading. Here e-trading means trading of securities. Here securities means shares, debentures, bonds, etc. So buying and selling of securities can take place. That is, online trading of securities is possible through e-trading. That means via e-business. Then third, e-delivery. Here electronic delivery of multimedia contents to the user's computer. Suppose you want to purchase some computer program, or you want to download some app and which is paid, that means for which you have to make payment. So this app can be delivered to you on your computer, or this program can be delivered to you on your computer, okay, after making payment. This is called e-delivery, that is electronic delivery. Though everything cannot be made by e-delivery, but something, there are many things, particularly electronic programs, computer programs, etc., they can be delivered through e-business. Then e-procurement. These are reverse auctions and digital marketplaces between business firms. Here the transaction take place between business to business. In reverse auction, there is only one buyer and many sellers, and in digital marketplaces there are many buyers and many sellers. So e-business can be applied in e-procurement of goods by one buyer from many sellers or by many buyers from many sellers. And last one is e-communication or e-promotion. Here advertisements can be made through internet. That means those businessmen who want to make the advertisement of their product, they can make such advertisement through the e-promotion or e-communication of e-business. So these are the 5 areas where e-business can be applied. That means we can make application of e-business in these 5 areas: e-bidding, e-trading, e-delivery, e-procurement, and e-communication or e-promotion. Now topic number 2A, meaning of online transaction, step taken. You know, online transactions are very common these days. You also do some online transaction. Many people do online transaction. So online transaction refer to business transaction through internet. Whenever the business transactions take place through internet, it is called online transaction. Here order is placed through electronic media, goods are delivered physically, and payment is made electronically, that is online. In online transaction, order is placed online, sometimes goods are also delivered online, and payment is made online. That means all the 3 activities are done online: placing of order, receiving of goods, and making of payment. But in maximum transaction, online order can be placed, online payment can be made, but a delivery is made physically by the delivery man. Okay, so this is online transaction. This states that we have to go through 3 stages. So process, how to do online transaction. In online transaction, to complete the transaction online or through internet, the following steps are needed. That means we need to follow these 3 steps. Number 1, registration. Number 2, placing of order, and number 3, payment. First, registration. First of all, the buyer is required to get himself herself registered with the seller. That means for this the buyer is required to fill a registration form by giving a password along with other details. That means buyer is required to get himself registered with the seller. Okay, so buyer has to become the buyer of the seller by getting registration. Second point, placing of order. The buyer picks and drops the items in shopping cart. Shopping cart is an online record of items selected by the buyer for buying. That means whatever goods buyer want to purchase, the buyer picks them and put in the shopping cart on the website. After this, she approaches for payment. This may be done before or after the delivery of goods or product. That means payment can be made either before the delivery of goods or after the delivery of goods. In maximum cases, payment is made after the delivery of goods, but in other cases, this can also be made before the goods are delivered. So after placing the order, the buyer approaches for payment. Now the question of payment, how to make payment. The payment for goods bought can be made through any of the following ways. There are total 5 ways of making payment. Though there are some other ways, but these 5 ways are very common. Number A, cash on delivery, that is called COD. Here cash is paid to the person who comes for delivery of goods. That means cash is paid to the delivery man on the day of delivery of goods. That is called cash on delivery, COD. Check. Before delivery of goods, check can be issued by the buyer to seller. That means buyer can draw a check in favor of seller or vendor, which the seller deposits in his bank account and the check is cleared. So that is done before delivery. That means check is to be paid before the goods are delivered. Then internet banking, INB. Here money is transferred from buyer's bank account to the seller's bank account through internet. That means by doing internet banking, the buyer can transfer the money from his account to the seller's account. Fourth number, credit card, debit card. This is the most widely used way of payment. That means in online transaction, the most widely used method is debit card or credit card. Here also debit card is mostly used. Credit card is not used in maximum cases. So in debit card and credit card, debit card is mostly used. What is this debit card, credit card? In debit card, the buyer can make purchase, the bank makes payment on behalf of buyer, and that amount the buyer can pay to the bank later on as per his convenience. Similarly, in the debit card, the buyer can purchase goods as per the available balance in his bank. That means buyer is not able to purchase anything which requires payment more than the balance in the bank account. So this is a slight difference between debit card and credit card, but at present debit card is mostly used. And last point is digital cash. This is very important. Digital cash is a type of electronic currency which is found only in cyberspace. That means this is not actual physical currency. It has no real properties of cash but used as real currency in online transaction. That means digital cash is not a real cash. It is not a physical cash like notes, coins, checks, etc. It is only found in cyberspace. The buyer deposits this money in bank dealing in digital cash. That means the buyer has to go to some bank and deposit the money to get the digital cash facility. The bank provides a software to the buyer, and the buyer can make payment by using this software by transferring it in favor of seller. That means to avail the digital cash facility, first of all buyer has to go to some bank to pay money to the bank. The bank gives a software to the buyer has to install the software, and with the help of this software the buyer can make payment to the seller. Okay, so this is digital cash. So this is the whole process of making transaction online. we will be discussing next topic in next class. Thank you.